I would say three things. First and foremost is your interior life of prayer. The most effective thing you do for this campus is what you do on your knees in prayer, without doubt. After that comes the examples and the apostolic work. So first and foremost is prayer. I know a priest who got asked, like, Father, it was one of his CCD teachers, and the teacher's like, Father, I try to teach the teenagers about the commandments, they don't listen. I talk to them about the Trinity, and they're just texting their friends. I can't break through to them. And the priest said, look, are you fasting for your students? The teacher's like, well, no. And he goes, okay, do you do a holy hour for your students every week? No. He goes, do you go to mass every day for your students? Rosary, Chaplet of Divine Mercy? The teacher's like, no. He goes, why don't you do those things for about a year, come back to me and tell me how much of a problem still remains. And so first and foremost is that interior life of prayer. Fast for your campus. As a man, there's a website called e5men.com. And Ephesians 5 is what it's from, E5Men. And it's great. You fast for women. The first Wednesday of every month, you offer up as a fast for women. And you can pick the women you want to fast for. Hey, I want to fast for women in the porn industry. I want to fast for my ex-girlfriends. I want to fast for my future wife, my future daughter. I want to fast for women contemplating an abortion tonight. I want to fast for the victims of sexual abuse. I want to fast. And so everything you're doing, every month you're offering up a hidden sacrifice. So these things come first. Second thing I would say is the example of your own life. I was speaking at a high school in the Midwest, and there's a couple there, gorgeous girl, real handsome, athletic guy, totally chaste and pure. And the campus knew it, and it was so powerful. Like, wow, these two could be doing that. They could be dating anyone they wanted. But they love each other and they're pure. It was more powerful than I can imagine my entire assembly was, because they had the presence of this chaste couple on campus. John Paul said, only the chaste man and the chaste woman are capable of true love. And so just living the virtue of chastity brings a joy, I think, that's contagious. So the example is the second part. First prayer, second example. And the third thing is apostolic work. You've got to teach the message. Bring in more speakers. I know some high schools are like, well, we had a chastity talk 4 years ago, so we're good for now. I'm like, I wish MTV did that. Yeah, we did a sex video 3 years ago, so I think we're covered for another, half of a decade. It's got to be a continual formation. Bring in Christopher West. Bring in Leah Darrow from America's Next Top Model. Now talks about chastity and modesty. Bring in Matt Fradd, who talks about pornography. Matt Fradd is a guy we just brought on at chastity.com. What he does is he'll do right in front of a college campus an interview with an ex-porn producer or an ex-porn star. Everybody comes to watch this thinking it's going to be a freak show. And he said, well, tell me about the industry. What was it like? And the guy said, yeah, I spent 20 years in porn industry, Playboy, Hustler, this, and this is what's going on behind the set. And he said, look, you're a grown person. You're in college. You can make your own decisions. I'm just going to give you the information. You choose what to do with it. So it's a very non-threatening approach, but they just unveil the garbage going on behind the scenes. And so you can bring in more speakers. I would recommend giving away free resources. If you get a copy of the Soulmate book, there's information on there on how to get copies for as cheap as $2, so you can use them to evangelize girls on campus. And so in prayer, God will speak to you in silence about what he wants you to do. All of the greatest things in the world, I think, are conceived in silence. Human life in the womb of silence is developed. And so likewise in the spiritual life, the more silence you have, which isn't just the absence of noise, but the continual listening to God, you'll notice the more quiet you are, the more God can kind of, hey, do this. And he'll put things upon your heart. For Lent this year, I'd recommend no music for Lent. When you drive in the car, nothing. I don't even want Christian music. Zippo. No Gregorian chant, no Eminem, whatever you're going to do, none of it. Silence. Give it a try. A buddy of mine in San Diego said, hey, try this Lent. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess I could do that, whatever. Ash Wednesday, I get in the car. Okay, radio. Oh, right, no, can't. Okay, all right, I'm driving like 10 seconds. Oh, radio, it's quiet. No, I can't. It was amazing how often I reached for noise, how discontent I was with just the quiet. But I think if you can make more room for silence, God will place things on your heart that he wants you to do that I'm not going to think of before you. So, yeah. Other questions?